What's up, guys? It's King Andrew here with another Nexus Gaming Series cast. Tonight, we have Division B East. We're going to have fensad versus Zul'Jin Distillery. Good to have you tonight. Good to be here. Good to be casting this game. We just finished up map picks and bans. We'll probably be getting into... We're already actually in the lobby, so we'll probably be getting into the draft very soon. If you don't know me, I'm King Andrew. I'm a Heroes of the Storm player, Nexus Gaming Series caster, former school teacher, voice actor, and something else that I forgot, but it's not relevant right now. Let's take a quick look at the map screen, just so you know what's kind of going on here. Here's our matchup between fensad and Zul'Jin Distillery. We got our bans. Zul'Jin Distillery ban first, starting with Towers of Doom. Fensad answered back with the Braxis ban, then Zul'Jin Distillery with the Alterac ban, and finally the Volskaya ban out of fensad, and it is Tomb of the Spider Queen that we're going to be picked by Zul'Jin Distillery. Yep, it's King Andrew, guys. Good to see you here. Let's take a look at this match. This match is going to be a good one. Let's take a look at some details about our match here. So this match right here is a certified gigabanger. There's history between these two teams. They have actually played each other 3 times in the past couple seasons. Now, Zul'Jin Distillery has walked away with the victory every single time. But if we take a look at the series record, as we see, 3-0 in favor of Zul'Jin Distillery when it comes to series. But when you look at the map record, it's 7-3 in favor of Zul'Jin Distillery. And that might still look really, really commanding in favor of Zul'Jin Distillery. But then when you actually take a look at the series scores, it's 2-1, 2-1, 3-1. So every series, fensad taking a game, making it close in those best-of-3 series. And then, of course, the last series was a best-of-5. So that one had a potential of 5 games. And once again, fensad managed to take 1. So based on that history, I definitely will be looking at Zul'Jin Distillery as the favorite here. But I wonder if maybe this is the time when fensad can table the turns and and get their first win. So it'll be pretty exciting to see, and yeah, hopefully we'll get into it soon. So do want to also give you fair warning as we go into this. There is a hurricane right now in San Diego where I live, so if for whatever reason the stream cuts out, that's because the hurricane took out my internet. It's probably not going to happen, but I'm letting you know now just in case. Really, they say hurricane. It's more like a tropical storm at this point. It's just rain, basically. It's rain. It's fine. So, stuck inside, and I figure, why not cast a game from the Nexus Gaming Series? And I specifically chose this match because of the history. This looks like a good one, and we're going to be starting any second now. Looking forward to it. Good to have you all here. Good to have friends who I know. Friends who I don't know yet, but eventually will. And yeah, let's get into our draft. All right, game number 1 between this hopefully giga banger of a series. Hopefully it doesn't disappoint based on the hype that I've set up for it. I don't know much about the hero pools of either of these teams. I know exactly 1 hero per team. And I know exactly 1 hero per team because in both cases, it was an instance of the player being just absolutely cracked on that hero. I've seen D-Wit's Diablo just from watching past season casts, and I feel like his Diablo has just been so absolutely cracked that I feel like it has to play some part in this series, either banned or picked. I want to see it picked because I love Diablo. He's the only tank I enjoy playing. And on the other side, I played against fensad a little bit earlier before the season started, and I played against Ruglord's Dahaka, and there was one game where I feel like he straight up just carried the game purely on his Dahaka play. But anyway, we're not talking about that game. We're talking about this game, the Brightwing ban coming out. Pretty expected. Yeah, these are some pretty try-hard bans. Hogger, Brightwing, banned out. Johanna, banned out as well. And the last one's going to be a Noob. That one's actually starting to be a really common ban. I do think a Noob is one of the top 4 tanks in the game, but I do feel Diablo is a bit better and probably Johanna as well. And it's going to be the Blaze picked up by Ruglord, so none of that hard carry Dahaka that I was talking about. And there's the Diablo out of D-Wit. Just straight up, first pick, rip it, make it happen. Sometimes people do see the first pick Diablo as risky because you open yourself up to actually being killed, whereas a Diablo picked on later on the draft can sometimes potentially be unkillable based on what the opponent's draft is. They also did pick up the Tychus along with it. Some people do think of the Tychus as a counter to the Diablo. Not everyone agrees. I've definitely talked to and heard, particularly from higher level players, that they feel that Diablo's not there, or that Stukov, just kidding, I'm reading the chat, Tychus is not really that much of a counter to Diablo, if it's played correctly. Meanwhile, the Garrosh going to be picked up by Psycho and the Lucio by Jazzy Fast. I'm liking the drafts out of both these teams. Pretty try-hard drafts, not pulling any punches, not hitting us with the first pick Lili. The Garrosh is pretty early, but it's also in direct response to the Diablo. As long as they have some damage to follow it up in those last 2 slots, it'll be pretty strong. Sylvanas going to be banned out. I'm pretty sure Hirobi plays Sylvanas. It is a % damage hero. It's a generally strong hero. It's got good wave clear. You can use the trait to disable forts and keeps, which can work with pushing with the objective. And the final ban of Game 1 is going to be Kael'thas. All right, just about everything up until now has been like very try-hard, very meta, but that Kael'thas ban just out of left field, coming in there. The Kael'thas ban. It must just be a specialty for one of the players on the side of Zul'jin Distillery. And you know what? If people are bunching up for the Living Bomb, he does put up huge numbers. Sometimes playing along with a Lucio can be a little difficult in that regard because you need to be close to Lucio to get healed. And we're going to see the Tassadar and the Liark picked up on the side of Zul'jin Distillery. We're going to have both DPS picks picked up by fensad in this rotation, unless they go for like a triple bruiser or maybe, oops, all bruisers. Who knows? Why would any team ever do that? That's ridiculous. Don't ever do that.
Here we go again.
We're going to finish it out with the Vala and the Chromie. I like the Chromie for the vision that you can provide with her level 1 reveal talent. And the Vala, of course, just kind of a potential hard carry hero. It's going to be CW Ender on that Vala. Also a % damage hero, but doesn't get the % damage later on, so the kill threat against Diablo might be a little weak in the early game. And finally, we're going to round it out with the Deckard from Lead. All right, game number 1 on Tomb of the Spider Queen between fensad and Zul'jin Distillery. Our challengers in this matchup haven't won against their opponent yet. It's going to be fensad with Hirobi on the Chromie. I believe Hirobi's new to the team. Psycho on the Garrosh. Jazzy Fast is going to be on the Lucio. CW Ender on the Vala. And Ruglord on the Blaze. Their opponents, 3-0 lead in series. Can they keep the streak going? We're going to have Ankle Shot on the Tassadar. Nutcracker on the Leo. Be Fresh is going to be on the Tychus. Lead on the Deckard. And D-Wit on that Diablo that I hyped up so much before. We'll see how that goes. It is going to be an AA Diablo, so a lot... AA Diablo, just kidding. AA Vala, so a lot of pressure on that Diablo. Don't know if we'll see an AA Diablo. I'm going to say probably not. I think W build is much more likely here. That's going to be the first throw by Garrosh, tossing D-Wit in. We don't even have % damage there, but Diablo goes down. It's a trade, 1-for-1. Both tanks going down in that early fight. Nutcracker rotating up top does strike me as a little odd. I figure he would need to get down to bottom lane. And Ruglord is going to make it down there, starting to get that bottom soak. Nutcracker falling just a little bit behind. And wow, more is going on. This game is a bloodbath. Fensad out for blood already, getting a kill seemingly behind the fort and off camera, or behind the fort wall. Meanwhile, DeWitt gonna step in there, gonna get hit by the groundbreaker from Psycho, and then step into the time trap. DeWitt having a little trouble playing the game, but he has one singular minion. Actually, not one singular. There were a couple choices. But he had a minion that he could dash out on. B-Fresh popping that minigun, putting a little bit of pressure on Psycho. B-Fresh going in a little bit too much, I think. Psycho hits him with the groundbreaker. Looking for another throw, potentially. But Psycho's all by himself. Jazzy Fast is around the corner, so is CW Ender. CW Ender is going to take out Ankle Shot, who is not paying attention to the fact that he's just getting pelted down by Avala. Meanwhile, our off-lane matchup between Leo and Blaze is going very interestingly. I figure Leo probably has a slight edge in this as long as he is connecting with the spooky hand, and then maybe not so much if he doesn't. Adrenaline Stim Pack, of course, picked up by Ruglord. Goes for the jet propulsion, but falls just short of Nutcracker. CW Ender there, trying to help out, looking for the potential kill, but it doesn't happen with that missed jet propulsion. Just short. We're going to see rotations down. We do already have CW Ender and Ruglord taking the bottom siege camp, where we have the potential rotation bot. DeWitt going to look for the Vala, does eventually get the charge. Does he get the kill? Yes, B-Fresh is going to finish it off with that Tychus grenade. Another throw. Oh my, this game. So many kills so early on. Nutcracker is going to go down, but the gems are going to be picked up by his team. 24 gems on B-Fresh. DeWitt with 6 himself. Both teams tied with exactly 34 gems apiece. Now 35 once I've said that. Meanwhile, Ankle Shot. Oh, all right. Does manage to not step into the remaining Chromie shots. Meanwhile, more is going down on here. Not Gimme More because she's not here, but more kills, more deaths. That's going to be Psycho going down yet again. And now we have Zul'jin Distillery looking for a turn. That is a word with many syllables. That is definitely tricking me up. So what do we have here in terms of build? We've got the double gems out of Deckard going for both the Sapphire and the Ruby. The Sapphire incredibly powerful, boosting that slow on the Horadric Cube from 35% to 65% with that activation. Bruiser Camp was picked up by fensad. A bit of a turn-in happened for Zul'jin Distillery, but not enough to activate the Web Weavers. They have enough to turn now. Psycho's going to get locked in. Is there enough to finish him off? He does get rooted. Is there any more follow-up damage? Another heal, or rather, I believe that was the Garrosh W. They're going to be trapped, but nothing else is going to come of that. Meanwhile, we are going to still see the Bruiser Camp. Bruiser Camp's going to be cleared. A little bit of damage from that Bruiser Camp on the fort wall of Zul'jin Distillery. And now it's fensad looking for that turn-in. Most of those gems, though, gotta be on Ruglord, who is a little bit past the line of scrimmage, trying to put some damage onto the fort front wall. But there's a fight going down here. I can't ever look at the off-lane matchup. Nearly had both tanks dying yet again. AA build out of Vala, pumping in that damage. It's going to be really hard for DeWitt once the percent damage comes in at 16, but it's also been pretty hard for Psycho, who's actually getting hit by percent damage now from Tychus at level 1. And the first turn-in is going to go to fensad. Diablo going for, ooh, we're looking like Q build Diablo with Malevolence. Probably going to be Q at 13 and 16 as well. Huge burst damage potential, huge, even just solo carry potential from a Diablo there if he catches someone like Chromie or Avala. Can do much of the damage by himself, and then if either of his DPSs have a pulse, like Chromie and Vala are dead. Meanwhile, is it DeWitt who's dead? Oh my god, the slowing sands is so painful for Diablo. Meanwhile, possibly could have gone Loop in this game. Most of the time, I'm extremely critical of people picking Loop when I feel they shouldn't. In this case, we have the Loop picked up when I feel that Sands is actually... We have the Sands picked up when I feel the Loop was actually viable. But the Sands also just incredibly difficult for Diablo to deal with if he doesn't have a target to charge out to. Little baby throw by Garrosh, but Jazzy Fast can't get past the force wall. And is going to be yet another casualty. 4-4 in only 5.5 minutes into this game. DeWitt must have picked up a globe there, got some nice regeneration healing, because he does have Devil's Due. No soul shield from the Diablo. I think maybe that is maybe that is an adjustment that you make with this particular build. I'm really not sure. Soul Shield is overpowered. It would be good into Chromie, but also Vala is a bit of a nuisance and doesn't care about Soul Shield that much. So, some decent damage on the top fort by fensad with that first Web Weaver turn in. We're going to have Zul'jin Distillery, oh my god, this word. Distillery looking for their first Web Weaver turn in. Probably going to try to use this Bruiser camp as a bit of cover to help them get that in. Meanwhile, D-Wit is being oppressed here. Psycho looking for the throw. Mounted Garrosh is able to get in, but I think D-Wit is okay. They are chasing him behind a fort. Here comes Lev, and we're going to have the APOC on top of the Stay a While and Listen, and it's actually going to be a 2-for-0 kill in favor of Zul'jin Distillery. Yeah, I think that one, I mean, it was a 4v1, but it was a 4v1 chasing behind a fort. Oh my god, it's actually going to be a 3-for-0 in favor of Zul'jin Distillery, and they get the Web Weaver turn in. So at least for a little while, they're going to be basically pushing for free in this top lane. We are going to see some heroic talents picked up. APOC and Stay a While, classic combo. These days, especially at higher levels, I typically see Diablos really just going for the Lightning Breath. But particularly when you have the ley line to set up the Apocalypse I think is very worth it. And Tomb, of course, oh my god, D-Wit is having a little trouble. Does manage to get the charge out onto Garrosh, but will it be enough? The final hit of the Chromie Sand Dragon's Breath is enough to take it out. And enough to take Diablo out, that is. Psycho a little behind enemy lines at this time, but no CC, I think, other than potentially a Force Wall. A Force Wall might be able to do this, but Jazzy Fast is looking to help out. Oh, instead it's going to be the Stay a While and Listen, but he gets woken up immediately. And eventually we do see the kill. Oh my god, this game is crazy so far. Slowing Sands, though, can Led get out of here? That is going to be a dive over the wall by D-Wit. Absolutely crazy on that Diablo. Just going over the wall, trying to make things happen. No tank to protect fensad, but still structures to protect them. And Zul'jin Distillery making pretty good on that turn-in from the Web Weaver. Still fairly early. That was only the second turn-in, but they're in a pretty good position to just do a back-to-back turn-in. They've got 77 gems to only 46 of fensad. So can they get a back-to-back turn-in? B-Fresh turning in his, but Led not getting the turn-in. Okay, Led is going to try it. I was wondering if he'd get interrupted, but I think on the side of fensad, they're probably looking at 13 talent tier disadvantage. So they probably don't want to contest it. Probably just getting the safe camp, and then getting ready to defend. That Bruiser camp going to help defend mid. They'll get some spell armor with it. And with any luck, they'll be getting 13 talent tier advantage in there. Or not 13 talent tier advantage, but just 13 talent tier. All right. Oh, Slowing Sands. Great combo with the Slowing Sands on top of the Ground Baker. The Ground Baker. We're making muffins right here. But you know who's not? Oh my god, this... The APOC comes in just as he's about to die, and that APOC on the Stay a While and Listen, despite Diablo dying, allows them to trade them 1-for-1. Leo gets thrown in, but easy for him to get out. Unstoppable button for him. So Zul'jin Distillery still making pretty good on this push. Still a Web Weaver bottom, and that should be a bot fort going down. We see Leo going down to help it out. I wonder, no, they don't clear this in time to actually save the bot fort. So Zul'jin Distillery kind of in the driver's seat at this time. Structure advantage 6-3 in their favor. About a level lead. But it is a turn-in potential for fensad. I was about to just call it Phoenix-sad. Psycho looking to go in on that mount. I feel like he had a throw opportunity in there. Got a little gun shy. He didn't really have everyone nearby, but I think if he just threw in the Deckard and then Hirobi put down the Slowing Sands, I think the Vala was close enough that they could have still made that kill happen. Bigger concern, though, is that Blaze is there up top. Fight is going to happen up here. Psycho going in. Little baby throw, but a huge big boy taunt. Unfortunately, not enough, and Garrosh just does go down there. So another kill in favor of Zul'jin Distillery, 10-6 overall. They continue to exert their dominance, and now fensad doesn't even have a turn in. Of course, they're going to have to wait for Garrosh to come back, but they also need to clear waves to get enough gems. They're going to need to clear at least 2 waves to make that happen. Jazzy Fast going in pretty aggressively over here. I feel like there could be a Diablo that could have just, at some point, just charged Lucio into a wall, but didn't happen. Diablo just didn't happen to be there. And I can see that just from looking at the vision, being able to see both teams' vision. Meanwhile, Jazzy Fast doesn't have a wall, but is able to use High Five to just quickly escape to Vala. Bruiser Camp is going to be moving forward. Almost a turn in for Zul'jin Distillery, and actually a turn in for fensad, but they find themselves having to defend against this Bruiser Camp. They're just defending it as 5. Once again, probably just playing it safe, considering that they are once again at a talent tier disadvantage. Finally, they do have the gems in their favor. Well, we've got... Oh no, I feel like this is Ruglord going down. It is all 40 gems, and there is no chance. That was not... Oh, that was Ruglord. That was Ruglord going down there. All 40 gems that he had now lost. Absolutely tragic. Diablo charging in there. Charging in once again. Uses the APOC. Doesn't get much value out of the APOC because he was booped away. We are going to see Nutcracker ripping the Entomb, just denying Psycho the chance to go back behind his gate, but not actually threatening to kill him. Yet another camp is going to be pushing in favor of Zul'jin Distillery. While a fight happens here, I can't ever turn away from the 4-man because a fight's going to happen. Warlord's challenge goes out, but D-Wit doesn't care. He'll take that challenge. He'll go right in, and I think Psycho, once again, is going to go down. Oh, man. Zul'jin Distillery looking really, really strong here. Every other series that these two teams have played has been a split series, with in some cases going to the final map, or in a 4-game series, in a best of 5 going to 4 games. But Zul'jin Distillery right now playing like they want to end this 1 in 2. They want the clean sweep. Web Weavers coming in for Zul'jin Distillery, along with a boss. This is actually pretty optimal play, getting the boss turn in. I mean, with this, they could potentially push to end if they get some kills. Diablo has APOC in 12 seconds. Everybody else has everything up. And there it is. Big jet propulsion by Ruglord. We also have the stuns coming out from CW Ender. And the first kill is going to be Deckard, but I think we're going to have some kills traded. There's Psycho going down. Diablo goes down. 2 for 1 in favor of fensad. That they need that real badly to stabilize, but there's also still so much pressure between a boss and a Web Weaver that the members of Zul'jin Distillery are still here. Draken Laser Drill is going to expire. Be Fresh at half health. So at this point, they may just want to back off. I think the keep goes down no matter what. They actually stick around long enough to potentially find a kill. I don't think they even deserved that kill. They didn't deserve this kill. Oh my god, Hirobi's dead, and that could just be it. Oh no. I think fensad really just needed the discipline there of just hanging back, not going out there. Jazzy Fast trying to do Lucio things and getting punished for it. Ultimately not going to be end for Zul'jin Distillery, but it's not looking good for fensad at all. They just barely hold on to their middle keep, whereas this is the most damage that fensad has done to a keep, or even a fort, even on the side of Zul'jin Distillery. Zul'jin Distillery with their 20 talent tier advantage, just gonna straight up walk in through the Bruiser Camp for fensad. I think with the Bruiser Camp, I think they could even just stand here and just threaten to take down that fort, or rather that keep. And I think fensad kind of just has to give it. They don't have a whole lot of cards to play left in their hand. Nutcracker might even be looking for an Entomb. D-Wit has 0 fear. Absolutely negative fear going in there, but the rest of his team might, unfortunately, not having fear might have been unwarranted for D-Wit, and he does go down. This time, it's going to be a full Diablo death timer. No souls to put him back in this game. Ruglord looking for more, thrown in by Psycho, but gets walled out by both by both Tassadar and Nutcracker. These guys must have been Donald Trump fans. I should not have gone there, but it's done. That's the last time I'm ever going to mention that. Anyway, fensad does have an opportunity to turn in at this point. They're just going to raw push. Boss timer is not even close. So, and it's even getting the web weavers is kind of tough because this bottom wave is going to do nothing with web weavers. It's going to be tough to do anything with mid either. So they might be looking to get a little bit clearer first. They definitely want 20, obviously. Is not quite here, but I think they'll just about barely have 20 in time for this web weaver push. But it's so hard for them to even do anything with this. They're taking damage on their own core. Web weavers should be able to stall that out, but I don't. Yeah, at this point, I feel like they just got to be throwing Hail Marys. 25 kills in this game, by the way. 25 kills in this game. These teams are playing to try to get all 100% of the $0 prize pool. They're playing like there is prize money here. Jazzy Fast being a little bit more cautious this time, trying not to get caught out behind the blaze. Ruggler, though, going up close enough where he possibly could have been entombed. It is the buried alive from Nutcracker. Possibly going to... I feel like there was a buried alive opportunity on Hirobi right there. Didn't rip it. Didn't pull the trigger. I feel like Nutcracker can be more aggressive with it. It's just a web weaver. It's pretty weak. They're barely getting much done in other lanes, but instead they're just going to go for the safe defense and then, I suppose, look for a team fight on more even terms. It's not bad progress by fensad. I think at this point I would even like to see them just ensure that this is taken out, because when you have zero structures in a lane against two, the pressure is absolutely backbreaking. Even taking this out is going to be rough, but much more manageable. So fensad, unbelievably not out of this game yet. Neither team with a web weaver turn in either. At this point, we might be looking at, oh, okay, boss is about to be up. We might be looking at a fight over boss, or even just a level 20 team fight that could potentially decide this game in either direction. fensad could finish top if they get enough of a team fight win. Diablo going to be paused out there by the time trap from Chromie. Do have some level 20 Talonteers that they've been picked up for a while now. Biggest one that's scaring me is this force barrier here. Of course, the Entomb also very scary, or the buried alive rather. Those are the level 20s that scare me the most. Oh my god! I can't believe this. We've got Dr. Robert Weave in the house. MD. Don't often see that, but you'll love to see it at the same time. He's basically Tracer. Meanwhile, Stay a While and Listen gets ripped out, but doesn't actually achieve anything. So we're going to have an ult come out from Deckard. Nothing actually happens. There's so little happening at the moment. Psycho looking to possibly force something. There's the force wall, the 8-second force wall, and now it is Ruglord who gets caught. I think he's dead, basically. He has the bunker. That's going to give him a chance. Oh no, Hirobi does manage to get into the timeout, but Ruglord can't make it out. And with that, that could be the beginning of the end. Psycho, oh, what a play by Hirobi. No! That is an interaction. That is an interaction. Those are the things that you love to see. I wanted to see that result in a kill, but it's still sick to see either way. I feel like at this point, Zul'jin Distillery they want kills. They don't want to take this. Okay, they're just gonna get the bruiser. They're just gonna invade the bruiser camp. But why not boss? Por qué no? I don't know. Maybe it's worry about potential throw pit, but it is, at least on paper, really their advantage. They are Zul'jin Distillery is missing 2 heroics, but they still have Stay a While. I feel like Stay a While gives them the better boss control. And now they're going to rip it. Now it's... Oh, okay. Now they're going to rip it because the pressure might actually destroy Fensad's core. Uh-oh, Psycho's here alone. Does have big taunt. Taunt on 3, but Psycho just barely gets the shield from defensive measures, and Lid is super low. This is actually looking really good for Fensad. Super low health bars. The first kill is going to be in favor of Fensad. The second kill, but it is a full Souls Diablo. Ankle shot goes down. No, no, no. Okay. Now that has been taken care of, Ruglord needs to get back here. They want to finish the game. Jazzy Fest is looking to kill B-Fresh, but oh no, Jazzy Fest might be traded out by the... Okay, Ruglord is here. This, I feel like this actually... Okay, I was going to say should be in, but actually, it's a little tricky. There is definitely end potential. There is definitely end potential. No matter what, Zul'jin Distillery is looking at like a 3v4 defense, maybe even a 3v5 once Ruglord gets here. And now the death timers are getting too low. They are going to have to back out. Now they get the boss. Now they get the boss, and there's no keep to stop them. 14 to 16 in kills now. Let's see if I can do the math. That is 30 kills. 30 kills in this game. In this game 1. That's like more kills than you would see in many other series. Okay, they get the boss uncontested. Jazzy Fast gonna slow down Nutcracker. What does Zul'jin Distillery do at this point? Nutcracker does get hit by the Groundbreaker. Not the Groundbreaker. No muffins in this level 23 team fight. What does Zul'jin Distillery do? Do they look for a fight past the boss? Is that their only chance? I don't feel that they have a chance to win this if they just soft defend the boss. And then on the... Oh, this might be a little greedy. I think this is mega greedy. This is super greedy. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess is there some chance that they lose a fight at pushing along with the boss? Maybe. But the boss still got... It got 10%. I feel like if it's escorted, we're going to see... They get the Web Weavers, but Web Weavers suck. Most objectives in this game get stronger as the game goes on, but I feel like Web Weavers actually get a little worse because they have to push farther, they passively lose health as they move on. I could be wrong about that, I could be spitting fake news, but it certainly doesn't feel very... I mean, this Web Weaver is certainly not going to do jack. Even this one, at best, I feel like they get the front wall with this that was already partially dead. It'll do a little bit of damage to the keep. I bet this keep does not even go down to 80% of its health with this push. Okay, not much happening here. Not yet, at least. Not until someone rips an Entomb or a Force Wall and then a Diablo charges in. But my god, both teams are actually being super tentative at this point. I mean, Zul'jin Distillery was really in the driver's seat. They were winning this game super hard for a while. And then, I mean, not to discredit fensad, but to some extent, Zul'jin Distillery, oh my god, this word, Zul'jin Distillery. They threw a little bit, I think. I think we've had a little bit of Game of Throws on both sides. Bruiser Camp's just going to be picked up, and then we're probably looking at another level 20 team fight. Just teams picking up the safe camp. That's why this map goes on forever, because the objective sucks. Boss is at 2:30, so we've got like at least a 28-minute game here. Nutcracker with that AA build Leo just clears super fast. He does so much siege damage, pushes so much. Fensad looking to maybe push in through middle, maybe get a little bit more damage on that keep. But DeWitt looking in position, does get scouted out. Normally I think a little better to check bushes with Flame Stream, lower cooldown, but Oil Spill works all the same. Might just be this slow push. Hirobi maybe looking to throw some sand on that keep. But he's kind of zoned out here. Members of Zul'jin Distillery just walking in up on that Bruiser Camp. Oh no, Jazzy Fast gets caught once again. Can Jazzy Fast get out? Manages to wall ride on the husk of that dead mid fort, and that's enough to keep Jazzy Fast alive. Entomb was ripped at some point. APOC's still online. God, this game. I mean, at this point, it's basically, we're looking to see who steps out. Ruglord stepping out to other lanes. Oh no! They get engaged on without Ruglord. This is looking dire. That is going to be the Garrosh going down. 14 kills to 17. Yeah, I mean, it really is. Whenever Ruglord's not there, that is... He was showing basically clearing, and eventually someone did get engaged on, and the compound of Zul'jin Distillery, capable of killing just absolutely anyone and everyone. One really underrated thing about Diablo into Garrosh is with this devastating charge 13, he reduces the armor of the Garrosh, making him a lot easier to kill. Okay, Webweaver is going to be coming down in favor of Zul'jin Distillery. DeWitt kind of isolated here. Team is cut off by the slowing sands. Now Led is in trouble, so is Ruglord. Nah, just kidding. Ruglord's got a bunker, but actually he's super far behind enemy lines, and I think it's CW Wender who goes down now. Could this finally be the beginning of the end of this incredibly long game? Ruglord getting thrown over, or flipped over again. Gets the shield there from it is the Juggernaut plating. Meanwhile, the Webweavers are pushing it. That's actually only one dead, and now Ruglord is going to be looking to Hearth back. This might... Oh no. Jazzy Fast does manage to get out of there, so this might still be defendable. Webweavers are nearly dead, so is B-Fresh. Led not looking too healthy either. B-Fresh just barely dodges from the maximum range, but now the core is starting to take permanent damage, and Diablo looking for Psycho. Psycho gets the Groundbreaker shield. He's still alive, but the core for fensad pretty soon isn't going to be, and that's going to be game number 1 going in favor of Zul'jin Distillery. What a crazy game for game 1. That is the wrong screen. This one. All right. 14 kills to 18. We'll do some math. I did mention I am a former elementary school teacher. I did teach I actually taught first, second, third, fourth, and fifth grade. But I would say the time, I've probably spent most of my time teaching second and third grade. So the 14 plus 18 would kind of be like a second grade math problem. That is going to be 32. 32 total kills in this game. Absolutely crazy. 8 of those kills were on Garrosh, just having a lot of trouble staying alive in that game between armor reduction from Diablo, percent damage from Tychus, percent damage from Leoric. In the end, the Garrosh pick might have actually been a little early. Plenty of counters to it. It was picked in direct response to the Diablo, which it can be good against, but in the end, the Diablo had the better way of it, although Diablo was the second most in deaths. Definitely quite a few times that he struggled to stay alive himself. It is true, the final push of the game did happen because of a Webweaver push, or a Weaver push, whatever you want to call it. So, let's take a look at our map screen, update that. Our winners for game number 1 in this series, gonna be Zul'jin Distillery. So that is gonna leave us with, for the rest of our series, we're gonna be looking at Cursed Hollow, Sky Temple, Infernal Shrines, Garden of Terror, Dragonshire, or Battlefield of Eternity. Let's even take a quick look back at the summary screen. We took a look at the damage. Yes, 100k damage on Chromie. I mean, Chromie is kind of a stat padding hero. She does just put up the numbers. The Chromie was very well played. I'm not trying to discredit Hirobi there. Great use of the slowing sands. And also coming back here so that we can also take a look at talents, because I hate it when casters don't show the talent. So I don't want to be that like that myself. Of course, the full AA build, Vala, very good against the Diablo, doing huge amounts of damage. And yeah. Those are our talents. All right, so good to see you here, guys. As you can see, I'm still here. That means that Hurricane Hillary has not knocked out my internet, at least not yet. Probably won't happen. It's really just a tropical storm at this point. It's basically just rain. But if you don't know who I am, I'm King Andrew. It's King Andrew. I'm a Heroes of the Storm player, NGS caster, former school teacher, voice actor, and ARAM enthusiast. That's what I forgot earlier. If you were not here earlier on when we introduced these teams, just so you know, these teams have a history. As I promised, certified Giga Banger. Like, could not have... That first game just absolutely lived up to the expectations. It is Zul'jin Distillery who does have the lead in series. They've won all 3 of the series that these two teams have played so far. But in every series that these teams have played, fensad has made it a series, so to speak. They've taken a game in every single one. So at this point, will history repeat itself? Will fensad win Game 2, only to drop in Game 3? Or will we have a new storyline? Will this finally be the time that fensad breaks through and manages to take the win? Or will Zul'jin Distillery just pull away and seal this out with a 2-0? Who knows? I don't know. I bet DeWitt wants to finish this out as a 2-0. Probably his entire team, not just him. He's not his entire team, but his Diablo was pretty cracked, as I kind of made it out to be. Anyway, I do know the second map now. Second map is going to be Battlefield of Eternity. One of my favorite maps, and pretty much my favorite out of the ones remaining since Towers of Doom was actually banned out. Boo, don't ban out Towers of Doom. Why would you do that? All right, so anyway, this map was picked up by Zul'jin Distillery. Picked by Zul'jin Distillery. I don't know if I said the words correctly. Yeah, I love me some Battlefield of Eternity. I love Battlefield of Eternity. I want to see DeWitt's Diablo again. I think it's fantastic. Diablo's good on most maps, but I think this map in particular is fantastic for Diablo. So I want to see it again. But on the other hand, I also kind of want to see fensad just... I kind of just want to see fensad ban out the Diablo, because it's pretty cracked. I kind of want to see the Ruglord Dahaka that I hyped up earlier in Game 1. And you might be thinking, Dahaka on a 2-lane map? Yes. Yes, Dahaka is sick. He's one of the top 3 offlaners in the game. I played a scrim on this map against fensad before the NGS season, and Ruglord hard carried on Dahaka on this map. So I want to see the Dahaka from Ruglord. Blaze is good too. Blaze is good. I'll never complain about a Blaze pick. I am not in a soundproof box. I will say, we're getting a little off topic and we don't have much time to talk about it, but this is my recording studio for voice acting. Don't have any more time to talk about it because we're going to the draft right now. All right, so I wonder if we will have any responsive bans or respect bans as a result of last game. Bans last game were pretty familiar. I've literally seen the exact same bans by completely different teams in other matches. It was Johanna, Brightwing, Hogger, and Anubrak. Those were the bans from last game. That's funny. I thought Zul'jin Distillery picked this map. Oh yeah, they did pick this map. They messed up the lobby. All right, so anyway, because Valcast, this is my recording studio that I built for voice acting. Right now, I'm not inside of it, though. I do a few things to try to make the voice sound better, even though I'm not inside there. I got a new headset. It's better than my old one. And I do make use of several filters on my mic input through OBS to try to improve the sound quality. So, what's going on in our chat? I have not been paying that much attention to the chat. The game has just been too crazy. The chat goes by too fast. I apologize. I'll just let them know I'm ready again. We are missing a player, though, which could be a little worrisome. All right. Everyone's back. I guess not that much of a problem. But yeah, I think the issue there was that the first ban was set to Team 2, to Zul'jin Distillery. It was supposed to go over to fensad because Zul'jin Distillery picked them out. I wondered if I got it wrong, but turns out I didn't get it wrong. The people who made the lobby got it wrong. Anyway, hopefully we're going to be going back in pretty soon. Just trying to sort out captain hat issues, things like that. How's everyone doing tonight? I've finally run out of things to talk about, so it's time to finally just say it again. How you guys enjoying Baldur's Gate 3? Sick game, right? Haven't played it yet, but I'm sure it's sick. I really want to play it. Gonna buy it in 3 years when it's on sale for $30. Who pays $60 for full price for a game? Who has that kind of money? We're almost there. I'm debating about how much time we actually have for me to talk about any voice acting stuff, but I'm pretty sure we're going to start any second now. Yeah, all right. I need to tell them that I'm ready again. There it is. Very good. All right, and of course, since we're on Battlefield of Eternity, there is pretty good potential. There is obviously a subset of heroes that are considered immortal race heroes for this map that suddenly become a lot more relevant on this map than they are on other maps. Vala, Li Ming, Hanzo, Greymane, sometimes Raynor, even though I don't approve of that. Chromie, not bad here, if Roby wants to play that again. And there it is, the first ban Diablo. I wanted to see the Diablo again, but I'm also not surprised that we're not. We might not see it again for the rest of this series, whether it's one more game or two. And the Anubarak ban, that was also banned by Zul'jin Distillery the first time. What will we see for our second ban? The Val is going to be banned out. Things are just so tense right now. Of course, Zul'jin Distillery does not have first pick. So interesting, we're going to see the Vala ban. It does look like maybe CW Ender doesn't want it for this game because first, they're going to have first pick right now. They could have taken Vala if they wanted. First pick Vala, I think, is viable on this map, but I also think there are also risks to first picking Vala as much as she can be pretty ridiculously OP. I guess on this map, I think it's really AA build. It's really like the OP one, but any Vala build is good. And we are going to see that Raynor that I kind of didn't want to see. Oh no, the Raynor. All right, it does mean, of course, that fensad is building for race. Raynor's race is absolutely sick. What's not so sick is his team fighting. Raynor, in my opinion, just has a lot of fundamental weaknesses in his kit that make him really undesirable. And then we see it into the Blaze as well. This feels really tough for the Raynor. The Hanzo Blaze, a much stronger early draft pick from Zul'jin Distillery, in my opinion, with that Hanzo Blaze compared to the Raynor first pick. Yeah, I'm sorry. The Raynor first pick is going to be rough, or it could be rough, or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe fensad wins this game. Ooh, the Yrel, little space goat action coming in here, along with the Anduin. Man, if they hadn't already committed to the Raynor, I would have loved to see like the Genji on top of the Anduin, but I don't like the damage pile. I don't like the damage profile of a Raynor Genji. Instead, I'm going to want to see whatever CW Ender, whoever ends up playing the damage hero for the other damage hero for fensad. I do want it to see it be something like a Li Ming or a Chromie, something with very heavy spell damage. It's going to be the Garrosh band out, so they're actually not going to allow that this time. So the respect band going both ways. New tank's going to be for both heroes. And what will our final ban of this second game be? It's going to be the Varian. So a little bit of a tank choke. Starts to raise the huge tank choke, actually. Five tanks targeted. And neither team has actually picked up a tank yet. So I definitely want to see the tank pickup by Zul'jin Distillery at this time. I think the best tank remaining is like Muradin or something. And after that, it's like, oh god, but Hogger. Hogger suddenly just said it in a totally different way. Hogger made it through. And it's actually going to be Blaze Hogger. So not a fan of the Blaze main tank either, but that might be what we see. It might even just be the Hogger main tank. That's not a thing. Or maybe it is. Who am I to say? And there is that... There's that Muradin that I talked about. CW Ender right now on the Muradin. I wonder if that's going to change as we go into the game. And the final pickup is going to be the Stukov for lead. B-Fresh going to be reprising his role on the Tychus. Going to be some moves around. So DeWitt is actually going to be playing the main tank Blaze, and it's going to be Nutcracker on the Hogger. All right, game number 2 out of these teams. fensad now trailing in this series 0-1. Can they make history repeat itself and at least take game 2? We'll see. CW Ender going to be role swapping now. He is on the Muradin. Jazzy Fast is going to be on the Anduin. Psycho is going to be playing Raynor. Hirobi on the Li Ming. And Ruglord is going to be playing as the Yrel. Their opponents looking super strong, even though that game actually ended up being super close. DeWitt going to be on that main tank Blaze. B-Fresh is going to be on the Tychus. Ankle Shot is going to be playing a hero that I can't even see right now. It's the Hanzo. Lead is going to be on the Stukov, and it's going to be Nutcracker playing the Hogger. Nutcracker moved bottom a little bit, seeing if maybe they could find a kill. CW Ender taking up residence, though, in this bush, while Jazzy Fast is going to be alone right here. Oil thrown into that bush, or that vent, whatever you want to call it. 1v1 up here between Hogger and Ruglord. Wave is going to be cleared both ways. And remember, I got to remember that I can't look away from the foreman, otherwise things are going to happen. DeWitt gets a charge, set up by some oil, but ends up taking more damage than his team ends up doing. All right, W build Hanzo, kind of as expected on this map. The shield on the Blaze is not what I expect, but on this map, and especially for a non-off-lane Blaze, it makes sense that we don't see the more typical Adrenaline Stimpak. No, not the Adrenaline Stimpak. The orange. Let's just do color. Orange. We don't see orange, we see blue. Although even then, I usually expect more of either the Unstoppable or purple. Just easier to go with the colors. Gonna see some rotations here. Psycho gonna rotate out of vision to look for just this easy camp capture. This is... What is this? What is this? At first I was like, fensad taking this camp early, but that's not their camp. All right. Zul'jin Distillery now really just asserting dominance. Ankle Shot and led up here, looking to see if they can do anything to Ruglord. Psycho gonna try to help out. I don't think Ruglord dies here. Without an actual tank, there's no CC that can reasonably result in a kill on Yrel, and not enough burst damage coming out of a Hanzo this early. Anyway, looks like we're just gonna be turning this top into like a 3v2. Psycho pushing in, despite the fact that it's a 2v3 for him. Of course, it's gonna be an Exterminator Raynor on this map for that incredible immortal race. So easy bottom siege camp taken by fensad, while 3 of Zul'jin Distillery were top. Uh-oh, Psycho's in trouble right now. The jet propulsion misses, but we see the leap of faith anyway. Probably not a necessary leap of faith there, but I guess just wanted to be safe, wanted to be sure. And here's also one of the beautiful things about an Exterminator Rainer. These minions and the Siege Camp are permanently inspired. They will always have this attack speed buff. It will never expire until the camp is killed. So actually some awesome push in this bottom lane by fensad this early on. Nearly getting the front wall. I mean, these camps, they're going to do... I think they do. I think that the Siege Camp, yeah, that is the power of a Rainer-inspired Exterminator Siege Camp. Definitely the words there in a little bit of a strange order. fensad going to be setting up earlier on the Immortal, so they are going to be ahead in terms of the damage. And this early on in the game, I think they've actually got the better Immortal race. I'm not 100% sure about that. Could be wrong. Who knows? But either way, they were at least in position first, so they did... They've got the lead, and they've got it on their side. Rainer just setting up. DeWitt looking to move in, but he's going to get stunned by CW Ender, who's been slowing down a little bit. Rainer slowed down by the oil, and he's got to move back, so he can't do any damage to the Immortal right now. Too much space is being created by DeWitt and Led right there. Hanzo trying to put what damage he can on the Immortal, but going to get stunned off of it. Oh no, DeWitt's going down! First kill in game 2, going to fensad. Led also looking like he's in a huge amount of trouble. Led is super low. Hirobi finds one with the resets. Gonna find another. That's gonna be 3-0 in favor of fensad. Looking to make this game a series. So it's gonna be a nice Immortal push top. 7 talent tier advantage in favor of fensad. Inspire this wave. Just inspire the wave. Inspire the wave. There we go. Maybe he didn't have the cooldown. But yeah, just inspire. So powerful. I'm actually now really hyping up the Rainer, even though I was hating on it in draft. I mean, for now, fensad is doing well. They're actually a level and a half in the lead. Definitely part of that being 3 kills in their favor. Zul'jin Distillery going to have to buckle down. No more silly camp steals. Going to have to play some nice, clean hots. Meanwhile, you know what? Oh, no! Led taken out by the stun from the Immortal. The team providing the assist and the Immortal getting the final blow. CW Wender, though, possibly pushing his luck a little too far, going down to less than 400 hit points on that Murd, and that is going to be a whole fort taken down with that initial Immortal push. DeWitt charges in! What a madman! 5-0 kills in favor of fensad. Alright, so I haven't taken much a look at the builds since level 1 when... things were a little bit more calm. Obviously, that full W out of the Hanzo nearly completed on the quest, which looks nice. The nanomachine coding completely mandatory out of the Blaze there. Does a huge amount to shut down the Rainer. Obviously, the alternative, the Suppressive Fire, would be good against the Li Ming, but I think here the nanomachine coding is better against for the Rainer, or it's more important here because of what Rainer contributes to the Immortal race in that regard. Also because Rainer, does, nothing if he's standing on the slowing oil. He's, not even a hero. He's barely a hero when he's not on the oil. Anyway, they're just pushing down this fort. Zul'jin Distillery getting just what value they can, but they're behind a whole level and a half. We're seeing the rotation here. Roguelord looking to move in. Can Roguelord get something? No. Started it. Actually, he might be able to. Does get the instant mount. Might be able to get a jump over the wall. I think they know where DeWitt is. I think DeWitt should be gone here. But Hirobi might have gone in a little bit too deep. Does manage to get the pull from Anduin. And now I think it's going to be Ankle Shot's going to be the first to go down. Led, no way he makes it out of here, but he's not even the first one to die. And another triple kill in favor of fensad. Absolutely running away with this game. Answering back huge. Chauncey with the correct callouts. This is a banned skin from Muradin. You are not allowed to pick that in NGS, but Zul'jin Distillery doesn't really care because at the end of the day, it's really not going to make that huge of a difference. At the end of the day, they're either going to win by playing better or not. Anyway, fensad once again in position first for the Immortal, and I mean not much for Zul'jin Distillery to do anyway. Can't get in position, really, when they are down 10s. They're just about to have 10, but I mean, at this point, there's almost no chance they take the Immortal, and that's, oh my god, the Rainer actually doing Rainer things, actually good Rainer things. just not allowing DeWitt to get the engage. The Dragon Arrow does connect, and now DeWitt does get the engage. Does Jazzy Fast make it out of here? It was looking good for fensad. Big light bomb hits 4, but not enough to actually result in that fight going in favor. Blaze dying mid-charge. The main tank Blaze not coming up big. Oh man, yeah, the main tank Blaze, it's super sus, and it's amazing how a hero who's super overpowered when played in the off lane is really, really weak when played as a main tank. But I gotta hand it to Psycho. The Rainer is about to die. I was trying to compliment him and compliment them, and almost looking like they're about to get engaged on and die. But the Rainer's been doing great things, actually just really making use of the strengths of that hero. And the great thing about that penetrating round to stop the Blaze charge, it's really capitalizing on the weaknesses of the Blaze and playing to the strengths of the Rainer. I do believe that the peak of skill expression with Rainer is how well you use penetrating round. Oh, all right. CW Ender just going to eat the Dragon Arrow so it doesn't get a whole lot done. He even eats a minigun, doesn't even care. Just going to pop Avatar. And oh my god, Lead is just absolutely gone. DeWitt might even go down too. Pops the bunker, but now he's just more out of position. And it's enough. This is 12-0. Not going to be as many kills in this game as last game, I don't think. This game might end here. That might be a little optimistic, but it's, oh my god. And then we are going to see the Hyperion. I actually wonder if Hyperion maybe should have been saved for core, but I mean, either way, it secures the fort or the keep. I think the fort goes down no matter what. Yeah, actually going for the core might have been a little optimistic, but they haven't stopped yet. 3-level lead for fensad. All right, Immortal is down. I don't think Zul'jin Distillery actually fights. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Just the Rainer again. Well, I was hating on the Rainer in the draft, and the Rainer is practically turning into the MVP in this game. And then, I mean, what do they do at this point? Like, they don't take this bot fight. This is down 3 levels and a talent tier. Oh, no. Oh, no. Lead. All right. Light Bomb is going to miss, but this is still looking a little concerning. Ruglord goes in. Okay, does have Ardent Defender. DeWitt just absolutely getting mauled. A big Dragon Arrow, but it's not enough. It's too little too late in this fight, and possibly in this game. Yeah, I don't think they ever should have taken that fight. I think they just... I mean... Maybe on one side you can make the argument that they need to make something happen. They need to make something happen because this game is just really spiraling out of their control. I think the other side of it is you play safe, you try to get to even... How do they even get to even talent here when fensad is so close to 16? It's just so bad for Zul'jin Distillery. There's just not much they can do. Like at this point, I think they just throw Hail Marys and if it doesn't work, they go next. All right, a little bit of a dud on the Light Bomb there. Self-cast. Of course, you know, when you have a Muradin, that's... Muradin, I think, is one of the best Light Bomb combinations in the game, and I think you should always be Light Bombing Muradin when you have a Muradin and an Anduin on the same team. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be 16-13. Immortal is on kind of the natural sides, the allied sides. DeWitt is still going, and this guy still has no fear. Big Dragon Arrow does connect onto 2, but the follow-up scatter doesn't quite make it. Huge self-healing out of Rainer completely negates everything that was done by that scatter, or whatever damage was done, and Blaze goes down again. My god. It does feel like he has died so many times. Be Fresh on the same hero he was last game. Oh, what a jump by Ruglord. I was trying to think. I don't remember what the name is. Righteous Hammer. Righteous Hammer is the name. Big flank. Oh my. I mean, at this point, we're probably going to be looking at like a full health Immortal. They're even just going to steal the camp. This is crazy. I mean, it's not crazy. It's actually just right. But it's just so rough for Zul'jin Distillery. Okay, now they're abandoning this camp. I feel like they actually could have gotten to it if they actually just full-on committed. Like, I feel like Zul'jin Distillery are in a really rough place where they don't want fights, and at the same time, they want every fight. Like, I mean, now, this is a full health Immortal. This is now actually, straight up, they want this fight. They want this fight, even down to talent tier advantage, just because that's how bad it is. The arrow only hits onto your rel. It's not going to be enough. There it is! The light bomb! The Murd and the engage hits 3. That's got to be it. That's got to be the end of this game. Immortal's already pushing, and we are going to see Led go down again. Both Led and DeWitt have been having super tough times in this game. 16-0, and they might not even be done yet. I mean, at this point, they could probably even just try to farm kills while the Immortal finishes the game by itself. That might be a little greedy. That might actually lead to Zul'jin Distillery coming back into this game, because that would actually result into comeback experience if fensad does actually throw it. But they're not going to throw it. They're going to play it safe. Raynor-inspired minions once again. And Jesus Christ. Ankle shot just exploded. Ruglord trying to get away from the drill. CW Ender actually looking a little low, but just gets pulled out by Anduin, so they're just cycling in and out. But I still think this is pretty much end. The drill's doing a lot of damage to the Immortal. The Immortal now does have less than 90% of its health, but it's also chunking through the core, which has less than 60% of its health. 47, this is over. We're going to game 3. History is going to be repeating itself. Oh my god. Oh my, 18-0, 18-0, holy god. Oh my god. Oh god. What a game. What a game. Didn't even, we haven't even seen the Ruglord Dahaka yet, but we have seen the Ruglord Yrel. Anyway, let's take a look at this. So, 10-0 for Hirobi with the top damage. Raynor, though, I hated on it so much in draft, but they played it so well. They played to its advantages. They destroyed the Blaze, and the Raynor was actually a big part of why the Blaze had such a tough time. He was just getting hit by penetrating round out of jet propulsion, and meanwhile, the highest damage on the side of Zul'jin Distillery is 30,000 for Tychus. Not even 30,000. That's less than your rel on the side of fensad. So we got our game 3. It actually is going to happen. All right, guys, so what's up? As you can see, I'm still here. The hurricane has not yet knocked out my internet. That's the good news. The bad news is there's actually no bad news. It's all good tonight. It's all good. We got game 3. And that hurricane, it's barely anything. It was kind of, the hurricane was kind of overhyped itself. Unlike this game. This game was hyped up exactly as much as it needed to be. But yeah, we were told that a hurricane was coming to Southern California. I guess technically I was told that it was a tropical storm, but they also warned us about like flooding, property damage, get some people to go save the, actually maybe the animals really do need to be saved, but either way, like at least for us civilians in the city, it's literally just rain. I used to live in New York on the East Coast where the rain was actually a lot worse than it is now while I'm in a supposed tropical storm. What a tangent. Let's take a look. So back here, if you missed any of these games and you're just coming in here, take a look at the information about our series here. So Certified Gigabanger. I was so worried that when I typed those words, I was going to run the risk of this just being like a clean 2-0 for either team, and then the game is just like not even that close, not even that fun to watch. But it has lived up to that expectation. My God. Now, of course, the history of this is that fensad always takes a game, but the history is also that Zul'jin Distillery always closes out the series. So it really is, we're really just going to see at this point what's going to happen. Does history repeat itself? Do we just see Zul'jin Distillery win for a 4th time, or is this going to be the time that fensad finally breaks through and actually makes a win happen? That would be super exciting. That would probably be the most exciting timeline. Of course, I don't want to be biased here. I'm actually not really rooting for either team in particular. Both these teams putting on such a great show. Really got to be a fan of both teams tonight. And yeah, that's what I got. So let's take a look back at our map screen. declare fensad the winner of that game. And take a look at what our remaining options are. Cursed Hollow still up, Sky Temple, Infernal Shrines, Garden of Terror, and Dragonshire. So don't know what these teams prefer. There's not really any particular map that I prefer out of these other than I kind of hope that we don't see Sky Temple. I don't love watching that map. Garden of Terror could be fun, especially if maybe either team goes for, you know, a couple bruisers, maybe 1, 2, 3, even 4 bruisers. Who knows what kind of team would do that? That would be ridiculous. Don't ever do that. But yeah. It's that time again. I've run out of things to say. How you guys enjoying Baldur's Gate 3? It's a fantastic game, isn't it? I'm sure. I've been watching a couple streamers play it. It looks a lot like Divinity Original Sin, except it always seems like whenever I'm watching these Baldur's Gate 3 streams, it seems like the panels that are up, the characters have like 50 abilities. I don't know what the deal is with that. I'll find out eventually in 3 years when I finally buy the game. I've still got a couple other games I got to go through first. I'm still playing through Cyberpunk, playing through Deus Ex Mankind Divided, playing through Yakuza Like a Dragon. I'm almost finished with Children of Morta. All great games. If you need a game to play that's not HOTS, what kind of crazy person would play a game that's not HOTS? I recommend any one of those games. They're all fantastic. That's really good to know, Irby. I do like someone actually engaging with my totally off-topic conversation. I loved Divinity Original Sin 2. And of course, Baldur's Gate 3 really looks a lot like it. And for someone to say that it's a lot better than Divinity Original Sin 2, it's like sets the expectations super high. It must be, you know, certified gigabanger of a game. But anyway, we are now in the lobby. We do have, oh, and they're so helpful. They even told me who picked the map. Zul'jin Distillery picked the map. I think, did they pick every map in this series? And anyway, the map is going to be Cursed Hollow. Not my favorite map, but it can definitely have, definitely can sometimes be hype with wins happening off of the boss. Anyway, we're already going into the draft. I was going to go to the map screen, but it's not time for that because we just got to go into the draft. Not a fan of Divinity Original Sin 2. Oh my god, what heresy. That game is fantastic. But to each their own. Anyway, wow, we're not going to see the Dahaka. I mean, I guess the Dahaka ban makes a lot of sense here. This is huge map where a global can get a lot of advantage, and it's a really strong hero for Ruglord, and of course the Diablo's going to be banned out as well, just not allowing DWIT to have that. A little disappointed because I really did want to see the Diablo again. I love watching Diablo play. It's such a fun hero to watch and to play. I don't even like playing tank, but I like playing Diablo. And we're going to see the tank choke again. The Anuba rack banned out every single time by Zul'jin Distillery. A little surprised to see that. They apparently just don't like that hero that much. And it is a pretty good hero. I wonder if that also means that DWIT doesn't really like to play it. I'm sure at some point, you know, he seems like a really solid tank main, so I'm sure at some point, you know, he's played the hero, but maybe just doesn't like it. 3 of our 4 bans going to be on tanks. The Johanna banned out as well. Does still leave open that possibility of the Muradin Light Bomb, which is a fantastic combination. I feel like that's something you can kind of just take. Hager is left up, though. He is going to be picked. Top 3 offlaners in this game, in my opinion. Hager, Blaze, Dahaka. I feel like maybe Blaze gets picked up here. Could be banned in the secondary ban phase if it's not picked up here. Not really a chance that it gets stolen unless, you know, Zul'jin Distillery would like to pick multiple bruisers. That is an option. You can sometimes pick 1 bruiser. You can pick 2, 3, even 4 if you like. That is an option. It is valid. But what is the first going to be? Lucio Blaze. Okay, so Jazzy Fast. Clearly, the Lucio is a preferred hero for Jazzy, and the Blaze, obviously really strong. Ruglord, a wonderful meta slave, and I love it. Blaze, fantastic hero. Just these guys, this is game 3. They're competing for all 100% of the $0 prize pool, and they are not just playing around here, even though we saw a Raynor in last game, but that Raynor wasn't playing around either. Be Fresh, 3 for 3 on Tychus. as Lead does go onto the Brightwing. So as we see our secondary ban phase coming up, what will it be? A lot of damage heroes remaining to be picked. 2 for fensad, unless they're going to go for some kind of multiple bruiser composition. What kind of silly person would go that? All right, I think that's enough of that meme. It's going to be ETC banned out. I kind of hate that. I do, kind of. ETC. I mean, it's a tank choke, and ETC is definitely not the strongest tank, but he can front to back with a Tychus. So it's, you know, there are reasons for it. There are arguments for it. It's not completely nonsensical, even though it's not what I personally want to see. And the Garrosh banned out. So actually a lot of respect put onto Psycho's Garrosh. Love to see the respect. Top 3 offlaners. Dahaka, Blaze, Hager, and then 4 Zero. Muradin picked up by CW Ender. Does not have the light bomb opportunity this time, so it's a little disappointing. They could have taken that if they wanted to, but I guess Jazzy Fast just really wanted the Lucio. Maybe more comfortable on that hero. Lucio also just really OP as well. Good for disrupting rotations. What are we going to see? Our final picks in this entire series. The tank from DeWitt's going to come out. It's going to be the Tyrael! Oh my god! I did not see that one coming at all. I did not see the Tyrael coming at all. Definitely a big part of that is trying to support that Vala. I imagine we're going to see an AA Vala. This is also something where I kind of wish we also saw the Light Bomb Muradin again. I feel like that's a little bit scarier for the Vala to deal with. I feel like if it's only Muradin just jumping in without a light bomb, it's a little less scary, and Vala has a little bit more chance to just like vault out and avoid it. And it's going to be the Falstad as our final pick. Psycho going to be playing on that Falstad. And those are our picks for the final game in this series. Ankle shot going to be on that Vala. Any last minute changes? I hope not, because that makes things more complicated for me. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I went to the wrong screen. We've got game number 3. I knew this would be good, between fensad and Zul'jin Distillery. Fensad looking to change the storyline. We've got CW Ender on Muradin. Psycho's going to be playing on the Falstad. Hirobi's on the Chromie. Ruglord on the Blaze. And Jazzy Fast on that trademark Lucio. Their opponents looking to close it out. DeWitt on the Tyrael. Ankle Shot's going to be on the Vala. Nutcracker's going to be on the Hager. Lead on the Brightwing. And Be Fresh on the Tychus. Be Fresh playing Tychus in all 3 games in this series. Apparently just really comfortable on that hero. Nutcracker going through top. Maybe rotating a bit around. We are going to see them just move into mid. So the Tyrael is a super interesting one. Not a hero you see very often. Obviously, a big part of that Tyrael is to just support the Vala with movement speed, support the Vala with attack speed, and support the Vala with shields. But not a single AA landed by Vala in that early fight. I guess it wasn't that much of a fight. It was a very light skirmish. Jazzy Fast, again, just being a Lucio, trying to disrupt rotations, not allowing DeWitt to mount, or anyone else for that matter. So DeWitt's going to have to Eldrune through and then Smite to actually just to rotate. Just using those abilities to rotate. Psycho's going to be here alone. We are going to see the AA Falstad. Typically, I expect Q build by default, but when you have Falstad in an off lane a lot, he's going to be finding it easier to stack the AA quest than the Q quest. I think the AA build will also be pretty good for punishing, pretty good for punishing Tyrael. Tyrael without any hard CC. It's kind of tough for him if he's just standing in front of AA heroes and can kind of just eats a lot of damage. Of course, we also have the Falstead is complementing a Chromie. Chromie being a more spell damage heavy hero. And Chromie just going to be staying behind this wall. A little bit of damage apparently put on this wall. Ruglord going to be looking for the Bruiser camp, and we kind of just see both teams playing the macro. As the Siege camp's picked up by Ankle Shot. Ankle Shot not finding a lot of opportunity to brawl and build stacks on that Vala yet. You know, of course, the stacks on the Vala are very desirable. But an alternative is just trying to stay alive, keep those Gambit stacks, especially for when you get to level 16. Try to keep as many of those Gambit stacks as possible for when you get Manticore. Uh-oh, Ankle Shot possibly looking to donate some Gambit stacks a little too early, thank God. Does manage to get out of there. I guess there wasn't really some damage that actually could have threatened to kill Vala. It was only the Lucio and the Muradin. Meanwhile, CW Ender's going to need some help here. He needs some help with clear. Hirobi picks up the Siege camp for fensad. Probably going to look to rotate mid. We're going to see Phase Ship go out by Brightwing. Did I say shift or did I say shift? I'm not even sure. We still need clear on this. They need more help, apparently. Chromie doesn't seem to be enough. But Psycho's trying to get as much value as possible at top. Possibly could get some nice value, and especially this is a Falstead, so it is a global hero playing opposite of where the curse is. Probably just going to try to stay top as long as possible, which really complicates things for Nutcracker, who wants to stay here to clear and is not a global. So this is looking pretty good for fensad. Meanwhile, what's not looking good for Ankle Shot is that he ate a stun, took some damage down to about 60% of his health, but as long as he gets out of there alive, doesn't give up any of the Gambit stacks. Be Fresh looking to channel, but Ruglord is going to get the stall. I don't think the oil by itself will actually get a stall because oil does no damage, but of course lighting the oil will get a stall there. Yeah, so I feel like the longer this goes... Ooh, Blaze Charge happens, Ruglord does charge onto lead, and then we are just going to have the curse picked up by fensad. So looking a little bit stronger at the moment, but nothing too much has happened just yet. Yeah, and definitely one of the rough things about this game so far is Ankle Shot having trouble finding the stacks. Does vault in for stacks. Does get cleansed by the Brightwing there, so that cleanse is not there for the time being. Jazzy Fast playing. Oh my god, that is another. Oh no, Ankle Shot. Oh no, Ankle Shot. Ankle Shot, get out of there. Ankle Shot gets out of there, but does make Brightwing pay for his sins. Meanwhile, we are going to see yet another slowing sands. Oh, DeWitt. All right, does manage to dodge the Dragon's Breath volley. So yet another slowing sands Chromie. I don't know if I said a slowing sands Brightwing. I might have said that. Slowing sands here actually sometimes a little questionable into the critical miss because it does make it really easy for Brightwing to proc this and then just get a big burst heal to her entire team. But who really struggles with the slowing sands? I mean, it's still decent, but not looking quite as strong as before. And this would also be, I was going to say possibly a loop game, but we're also looking at a possible Sanctification Tyrael. I think it's probably going to be a Sanctification Tyrael. Be Fresh looking to channel that DeWitt, blocking the Chromie volley. And they okay, they did manage to get it. Ruglord tried to get another stall in there. And I guess we're just kind of seeing the off-lane game up top. Psycho, look, where is Psycho going now? He's rotating through. This is where things could get a little scary. But there's no one here, actually. He's fine. So, fensad still looking to push bottom. CW Ender jumping in aggressively. Going to jump right into... Ooh, Be Fresh dodging the jet propulsion, and I believe most of those Dragon's Breath barrages. That is a tongue twister. Dragon Breath barrage. Let's just say Dragon Breath shots. And we're just going to see the boss ripped on both sides. Both teams going to do it. No Falstead here to speed it up a little bit. I feel like he would probably be the best for burning this, but we did have just 4 heroes here. Jazzy Fast moving around. Yeah, it's just going to be a boss trade.
The choice is simple.
Uh-oh, Be Fresh. The Chromie shots don't connect, and Be Fresh is going to stay alive. Also means there's not much to defend this boss right here. Does Be Fresh stay here and just defend this boss? Is he going to rotate? What is he going to do? Is he AFK? He's going to drop the laser. And he's just going to defend this boss. So I imagine they're probably just giving this or stalling it for as long as they can. Complete miss on the jet propulsion by Ruglord, and now he's just kind of in there doing damage, taking damage. Gust by Psycho does knock Nutcracker in, but Nutcracker is a Hogger and does just use Hog Wild to get out of there. Hirobi channeling it. DeWitt looking to interrupt. Eldruin goes in, and Chromie cannot complete the channel. So the boss still actually pushing in favor of Zul'jin Distillery, so they're getting more out of that boss because Be Fresh defended it with the laser. All right, finally, Be Fresh is going to join the fight. It's going to be a 5v5. No drill. Avatar is popped. No gust either. So about 3 for 4 in terms of ult choices available. Be Fresh now in a little bit of trouble. CW Ender misses the Stormbolt, just like any Muradin would at any level of play. Ankle shot. Does get a Tyrael. Does get Tyrael shield. They keep Ankle shot alive, but they don't keep Tyrael or Brightwing alive. So that's going to be tribute going in favor of fensad. Structure's not currently in their favor. Levels slightly in their favor, though. So Ankle Shot has not died at all yet. I believe... Oh, no! I spoke too soon! No, what happened? Oh, no. Caster Curse is too real. It's also a staggered death, so fensad looking to make something happen with this. They take the fort front wall. Can they get more? Maybe just have Chromie start shooting onto that fort. Jazzy Fast going in, does get polymorphed once Brightwing does TP in there. DeWitt's also going to go in with Ildruin, and I completely missed it, but Psycho takes out Tychus in a 1v1. Probably going to see this fort go down in favor of fensad. Things starting to look really good for fensad. It's 5-0 in their favor in terms of kills. Still not in their favor in terms of structures, but they're evening it up. Ruglord going to be defending the siege camp, the bruiser camp. That's the bruiser camp. Another missed Stormbolt from CW Ender. And DeWitt is caught inside. Does have to use Sanctification, but he's so low. He's about to get... Oh no! He doesn't get the TP from Chromie in time, and he goes down. Probably just has to stay inside that Sanctification for as long as he could. Sanct is 3 seconds. Brightwing TP is 2. That is rough. Another kill in favor of fensad. Not a single one in favor of Zul'jin Distillery. Ankle shot, finding himself kind of frontlining yet again. The Draken Laser Drill is around the corner, and that is going to be Curse in favor of fensad. So Falstead's going to need to do a little cleaning up bottom because of that bruiser camp there. Going to really nullify the effects of the curse if he doesn't. Well, we are just going to have 4 push mid. It's actually just going to be a 4v4 here. I think they'll just focus on the structure. CW Ender going in, though. Oh, big jet propulsion. Led has no chance, or does he? Oh my god, 30 hit points. Little baby jump by CW Ender. Just trying to proc the block at level 1. Yep. Block at level 1. Also did not go dwarf. Heavy impact, heavy impact. Not that he needs to or that that's a mandatory talent, but it's just something that I would expect if you see a Muradin doing short-range jumps like that. So it looks like it's going to be a double fort play out of fensad. And Nutcracker is in here. So is Be Fresh, so is DeWitt, and they're just going to get out of there. They are just going to concede that fort. Bosses are up for both teams. Psycho going in. It's going to be a gust. Oh, this is looking so good for fensad. Tychus is down. Be Fresh actually struggling Kind of a lot in this game and also in game 2. 7 kills to 0. I think that's just going to be that could be double boss in favor of fensad. They're certainly going to take this one. Here is Holy Ground. So DeWitt possibly looking to steal it, but he's kind of being chased away by Jazzy Fast. Uh-oh, he's looking for it. He's looking for it, but he might die before it happens. The boss is... I think the Holy Ground doesn't last long enough. The boss... Oh, no. Oh, no. fensad saw what they were looking for, but also, actually, Chromie is the first to go down. Tyrael goes down after, but Tyrael going down here is not a bad thing when he can get trait value. Oh my god, that actually is a boss steal in favor of fensad, and it's a 2-for-1 in favor... A boss steal in favor of not fensad, Zul Jin Distillery. Just everything here. Just going to, oh my god, just utter chaos. Just completely scrambling my brain. Zul Jin Distillery finally get some kills in this game. Finally showing some signs of life. I'm a little worried here. They've only got 3 pushing. Of course, they're only 3 alive for fensad. Meanwhile, Hawker's just going to move in. I kind of liked what he was doing there. Oh, he's going to let the rest of his team take this while he moves bot. They're going to look for the boss? This is reasonable. They don't have Sank yet, but of course they will have Holy Ground. It's still tense. It's still tense. There is also Gust. Oh my god, this is actually kind of crazy. Lucio's not here. That's actually the big one, but they actually don't even need... Oh no, oh no. So many things can go wrong. We need the sanctification's not there! Oh no! Another boss seal, this time for fensad. And Hogger just gets locked in. Can't get out of there. Oh god, this could actually just be the end of the series. And if it is, this has to be end, doesn't it? Oh no. This is probably end. And if it is, this will be the first time in 4 series that fensad has defeated Zul Jin Distillery. And Zul Jin Distillery, they looked so good in game 1. But fensad just really answering back. Yeah, I mean, they're calling it right there. They're not even alive. The boss is like gonna die before... Like, I don't even know if Hogger lives. Okay, Hogger spawns, but Tyrael doesn't even. My god. What a series it was in the end. Super dominant for fensad in both game 2 and game 3. I mean, revenge boss steal as I'm seeing the chat a little late, but I mean revenge, not just in terms of the boss steal, but revenge against the team that has been a boss for your team. That was, I don't know if that all parsed together correctly, but finally fensad has managed to defeat Zul Jin Distillery. These 2 teams have played 4 times, and the 4th time was the first time that fensad was able to take it. Let's take a look at these stats. So, 13-2 in kills in favor of fensad. Yeah, I mean, games 2 and 3 actually really dominant. Take a look at our talents. We'll take a look back to the stats, actually. Hirobi, once again, on that Chromie, topping the damage. It's kind of expected for a Chromie. There's not really, like, an equivalent, long-range artillery hero who's going to have, like, similar numbers. Vala technically could. She's not similar style of hero as Chromie, but can definitely do that kind of... to put up those numbers. Our talents, we'll take a look at that while I quickly also whisper someone about the possibility of... Oh yeah, let's actually get to our summary screen. Yeah, we'll see about an interview. Go put my... Oh, funny thing, I actually never left the coin toss lobby. I'm going to move over to a regular lobby, but I literally never left the coin toss lobby for the entire series. So they want a Hirobi. We're getting a Hirobi. I messaged Ruglord because he's like the captain, but everybody's asking for the Hirobi interview.
Oh, he's coming, I think. I think they're convincing him right now to come.
Nice. Yeah. Sick. All right. Let me get over here. Congratulations on your victory. Before we get into really the nitty gritty details, can you just tell me a little bit about your team in general? Like, what's the history of your team? You've been playing together for a couple seasons, I believe. You tell me.
Yeah, so we started last year, like winter. I think it was season 13 or 14. And the roster has changed a little bit over the years, but not that much. Um, so this is probably the most different our roster's ever been, with one of our main players becoming a sub, and one of our best players joining a heroic div team. Um, so we have two new players, including Hirobi, who's here now, and CW Ender. And it's always interesting because we've played some of these teams before, like including XGD, and it's interesting to see, not only how much we've changed as players, but also how much the team has changed as we added new players. So,
Very good. Very good.
that's, I guess, the main point.
Nice. And I for this cast I did my homework, and I did see that you had played Zul'jin Distillery. God, that name. 3 times before. They won all 3 other times, so this is your first time beating them. Kind of like, did you plan for this? Like, did you prepare for it? Tell me about this match.
Wow, you really did your research. Yeah, it is the first time. I mean, we did beat them in their own invitational once, but that was because they had a DC, so that one doesn't really count.
Yeah, that was classified information.
Yeah, I
I
think
didn't have access.
I think they're a very strong team. I think D-Wood is one of the best tanks in the league, to be honest. It's interesting because I didn't really feel like I had to scout them because they felt kind of familiar. The only surprise for me was Nutcracker. I thought it was gonna be Cowboy Kyle because I've always played against him. So, that was a bit of a surprise, but otherwise, I don't think we particularly like. I think my team did some like scouting before the game began. But otherwise, at least for me, when I was drafting, I was just kind of drafting based on what I've played against because I've played them so many times now. So that's kind of the idea.
All right, very good. Very good. And Hirobi's muted so far. Hirobi, what do you have to say to the fans? You were asked for.
Oh my god. I don't know. I was just like, I was really scared going into these games against Zul'jin Distillery because, like, as Ruglord said, I was on a different team before. Well, like, I'm new, but my other team, we were never able to beat them. They were just so good.
What other team was that, or teams?
I was on the Baby Probes.
Uh-huh. One of the Pro Bus teams, Pro BS. Tell us a little bit more about the Hirobi fandom. Why was this a thing where you were peer pressured into coming here?
I don't know. I told my friends, I'm just like, oh, we're playing against Zul'jin Distillery. I was like, you guys should come and watch. And then I was told I was forced to come here. I'm not a big fan of interviews.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, it's good to have you. Good to have both of you. As this season moves forward, you actually, I believe with this, you haven't lost a series yet. You've dropped a map in this series, obviously, but you haven't lost a series yet. What other teams moving forward do you expect to be a challenge, or do you expect to, or are you looking forward to play? And this for either one of you.
You want to go first, Hirobi?
You go first.
Oh God. I think Start Slow and Taper Off is another team that we played in the XGD Invitational. That was the first and only time we ever played them. I think they were the only team. They were one of 2 teams that took a game off of us. Not even a match, just a game off of us in that thing. So they were even though they were Div D back then and we were Div C. The fact they could do that was very impressive. And I think now they're the other team that hasn't dropped a map. So I think they're definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Wait, I thought they came from a lower division.
Yeah, Start Slow then Taper Off. Yeah. They used to be Div D.
Okay, yeah. So I've seen them in lower divisions, but I think I've also seen them do very well for themselves in those divisions. So they've just like been moving up.
Yeah. That's a scary thing, right?
Yeah,
they're moving up. They got hunger. They got drive. So I think Reset City. Shroomy is that's someone that I haven't talked to in a while, but I used to play against them a lot. I've actually been in the Reset City Discord forever, just lurking. They never kicked me out. I think I left on my own accord recently.
Yeah, I
But
think that's a new team that was probably formed this season, probably of experienced players, but a new team this season.
yeah, I mean, at least the name's been around for a while. But maybe they just now started playing this season. I'm kind of scared of them. But I'm really. Oh, and TBD, of course. We got a long history with them, so
Yeah,
this is
I
probably
saw
much healthier.
I saw Chauncey in the chat a little earlier tonight. Maybe he was scouting things out too.
Yeah. Chauncey's my boy. Chauncey's cool. Chauncey's an awesome dude. Known him for almost as long as I've been in NGS. So it's always scary playing against your friends because there's like some like pride on the line.
Yeah, definitely. All right, well, we're just about to wrap this up. We're going to just close this out with any shout outs that either of you have.
Do you want to go first?
Shout outs to my team. For clutching it out today. I think game one was a little sloppy. I think game 3 was also kind of sloppy, to be honest with you, but we got it, I guess. But shout out to you, Hirobi. Shout out to you, Ender, for joining the team. Awesome playing with you guys. Shout out to the XGD. They're awesome dudes. And shout out to you, King Andrew, for casting.
Thank you. All right, Hirobi, any shout outs you would like to do before we
All my friends in
this
the
out?
chat, my bestie does. Definitely Zul'jin Distillery for really fun matches, and you for casting, and obviously my team for carrying me as always.
Of course. All right, thank you guys both. You guys have a good night.
You too.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so that's it. Our certified gigabanger, the syllables just don't quite flow together as easily after a while. Our certified gigabanger was exactly that. So I hope you had a good time. I had a good time. If you don't know me, I'm King Andrew, Heroes of the Stormcaster, NGS player, voice actor, former school teacher, and ARAM enthusiast. That's just about it for tonight, but we'll see you again soon. You have a good night.